45 is a problem about composition of functions. So the first step of this is asking for f of g of 3, which means to first take the input of 3 and plug it into the g function. That would mean 4 to the x now becomes 4 to the third power. Then f of 4 to the third is to take 4 to the third, which I'm going to keep as 4 to the third right now, and plug that into the log base 2 of x. So this now becomes the log base 2 of 4 to the third power, which is now asking 2 raised to what power, which I'm going to set it equal to x and change this to exponential form. 2 raised to what power is equal to 4 to the third power. And if I write both sides as powers of 2, I get 2 squared to the third, or 2 to the x is equal to 2 to the sixth, or this unknown x is 6, which means that this log base 2 of 4 to the third is actually equal to 6. And that should make sense because 4 to the third is 64. Another way to think about it that's just a little bit less complicated is if I were to take this step right here, let's move it over here and just make that f of 64. I'm going to get the log base 2 of 64. And 2 raised to the sixth is 64. So that is also still 6. Then if I look at f of g of f of 1/2, this is the reverse. So f of 1/2 means to take the number 1/2 and plug it into the function log base 2 of that. So log base 2 of 1/2, and I have g to that, g of that. Well, 2 to the negative 1 is 1/2, so this would be negative 1. And then the g function is to make this a power of 4. So 4 to the negative 1, or 1/4.